We've established before that ATP is the energy molecule of the cell. And we'll talk a little bit more about how it's made and how it's the energy molecule of the cell a little bit later on. But first, we need to take a look at what this word energy means. The kind of generic definition of energy is just the ability to do work. And work usually means the ability to move something. It's not always movement, but it's the ability to make something happen. And oftentimes we're going to be talking about something moving that requires energy to happen. Now, there are essentially two main types of energy. There's kinetic energy, which is the energy associated with motion. All right, so think about like a ball rolling down a hill has kinetic energy. If you swing your fist to punch somebody, your arm has kinetic energy. A bowling ball rolling down an alley to knock down pins has kinetic energy. All right, so it's just the energy associated with something in motion. Potential energy is also kind of known as stored energy. So this potential energy, we can also kind of call it stored energy, meaning that it's not necessarily performing work at this time, but something could change and make it perform work. So for example, if we look at this example down at the bottom here, we see this person with a ball at the top of the hill. This ball has potential energy, so it's not moving. It doesn't have kinetic energy yet, but if this person lets go or even pushes this ball down the hill, as it starts to roll, it now has kinetic energy. And it's important to note that these two forms of energy can go back and forth. So energy can be converted from potential energy to kinetic energy and from kinetic energy to potential energy. We mentioned how there are basically two main types of energy. So we have kinetic and we have potential energy. Well, there are some subtypes of kinetic energy and some subtypes of potential energy. And the ones that we're going to focus on in this lesson, the subtype of kinetic energy we're going to focus on is something called mechanical energy. Other forms of kinetic energy can include things like light and heat and radiation. Potential energy, we're going to focus on the potential energy stored in chemical bonds. So we're going to refer to chemical energy as the specific type of potential energy that is related to this concept of ATP and making it happen. All right, so mechanical energy definition is very similar to kinetic energy. So it's just the energy involved in that movement of an object. All right, so we can look at kind of two different examples I have here. So we have driving a car and a muscle contraction. And I'll relate these together in a moment here. So chemical energy, remember we said, is a form of potential energy. So it's stored energy. Remember, stored means potential energy. And so chemical bonds actually are able to store energy in them. If you break those bonds, you typically release that energy to be used by something else. If you make bonds, you're actually storing that energy to be used at a later time. So let's go back to our example of driving a car. All right, so when you drive a car, your car in motion has mechanical energy. All right, the car itself has kinetic energy. There has to be mechanical energy to move the wheels to make the car go forward. But that energy has to come from somewhere. And if you've ever run out of gas, you know what happens when you don't have energy going into your engine in your car to make it move. And so for your car, the chemical energy is actually stored in molecules of gasoline. All right, so gasoline is just an organic compound. And it's made up of a whole bunch of carbons bonded together with hydrogens. So gasoline is essentially just a really big hydrocarbon. And each one of these chemical bonds is storing energy in it. So here, stored chemical energy. And so what you do is you take this chemical and you put it in your car, and then your car has different components that are able to break those bonds. And remember, when you break bonds, you release energy. And that released energy gets transferred to the axle and the wheels of the car in order to make it move, which is how you actually move your car and get that kinetic energy. Now, our body does something very similar, but instead of gasoline, because if we drink gasoline, it will kill us, but instead we can eat different kinds of organic compounds. Okay, so here I've got the example of sugar, but we can really get the stored energy from lipids, proteins, and other carbohydrates as well. All right, so just the stuff that we eat that gives us energy. Once again, these are just organic compounds, so very similar to gasoline, but different. So don't go drink gasoline. But these are organic compounds, and our cells have specific enzymes that allow us to break down these organic compounds. And as we break down the organic compounds, we're breaking those chemical bonds and releasing that energy. And so in our example here, that released energy gets transferred to our muscle cells, allowing them to contract, which gives us the ability to move our muscles. So we can, flex our biceps, or we can change the shape of our chest cavity so that we can breathe, or our heart can contract in order to move blood around our body.